wind. Shout out to the Raiders, man, we about to win.
Raider Nation, what's going on? They lost 42-21, so I want everyone right now who's watching us live on YouTube and watching us live on Facebook to put your one-word reaction to the Oakland Raiders losing 42-21 to the Tennessee Titans. You're watching the Raiders Report by Chat Sports, and this is a Raiders vs. Titans post-game reaction. My one-word reaction? Bad. Actually, can't even say bad. I should just say B-A because you shouldn't even put the word D or the letter D in anything that we say because the Raiders defense right now, man, it just continues to struggle, giving up over 500 total yards to the Tennessee Titans. Now, I'll give some shout-outs to some of the people that are using that one-word reaction, which, Dylan, if you want to bring it back up, my man, that's all good because the people are loving it. So the Titans, they win 42-21. Ryan Tannehill, Derek Henry, A.J. Brown absolutely roast everyone. So for some shout-outs here, I want your one-word reaction to the Raiders losing 42-21. Emmanuel NC says sad. I see pathetic from Mason. Pathetic from Lupe. Jacob says horrible. Sloppy from Jacob again. D. Mendy says shat. Yes, sir, says poop. I'll allow it. Woeful. Seeing a lot of poop, seeing a lot of woeful, seeing some dangs in there. So when you look at what the Raiders did on offense, the game was tied 21-21 going into the half, and I was actually okay with how the Raiders were playing. The offense was chugging along, but then we made absolutely no second-half adjustments whatsoever, and the third quarter absolutely killed us. But the story in this game is, obviously going to be around the quarterback, but it has to be around the defense, and I almost want to change this graphic and just put offense because the D just hasn't showed up. The D did not show up once again. You gave up 42 points to Ryan Tannehill and the Titans. You gave up 552 total yards, and thank goodness that Mo Hurst had an interception. And hell, maybe we should put Mo Hurst on offense because my man was running. Let's get some Mo's in the comments section because my dude was chugging along. So the Raiders, they give up 42 points. I want you to grade the defense versus the Tennessee Titans. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm telling y'all right now, if I don't see anything besides an F, you're effing crazy. Now, I'm seeing a lot of, fire Paul Guenthers. If you want to put an F for fire Paul Guenther, I don't know if I'm at that position yet. The only reason why I'm sure I'm not there yet is because you got to look at all the injuries that this team has, and we still are a very young football team. I am seeing some Fs. I will say this, though. If we go out and get a coach like Ron Rivera to coach defense, I bet you he would do a lot better than what I'm seeing right now. Also, I love the chats in there. Fs, some Mo's. Grade the Raiders defense versus the Tennessee Titans. Now, I'm going to show you the quarterback here. Okay? Derek Carr, 263, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. If everybody right now in the comment section wants to just start typing dink and dunk, because that's all it was the entire game for the Oakland Raiders. So if you want to type dink, you want to type dunk, throw it in there because the offense to me is very confusing. Am I the only one that's wondering what the heck, why don't we target Rico Gafford a little bit more? Like, we finally air the ball out a little bit, okay? We air the ball out a little bit, and Rico Gafford has 1 catch for 49 yards on a target. Like, I think we needed to be able to get him a little bit more involved or just show the team that we're trying to stretch the field a little bit. I mean, am I the only one? I'm not saying that you can only blame Derek. I'm not saying it's Derek's fault. But I'm saying, like, John Gruden needs to mix it up a little bit because Rico actually, the Titans were surprised we went down the field. And we just didn't do it again. Now, Darren had an okay game, but he also fumbled. A very costly fumble. Now, I don't think it's fair to point your finger. I've seen a lot of people with Derek Carr, no mojo. I'm not going to point my finger at Derek for this game. I'm going to point it at the play calling. I'm going to point it at the receivers because, you go out, you pay Tyrell Williams, top 18 money right now in the NFL, and he's only getting 3 catches, 35 yards. He really was unable to create any kind of separation whatsoever. Now, a player who I thought played very well in this game was DeAndre Washington. And coming up here in a little bit, I'm going to have a Josh Jacobs injury news. Keep you guys updated on him. But this is what the Raiders reported. When Josh went down with the injury, they said you're going to see DeAndre Washington, you're going to see Jalen Richard both split some time. Now, Washington was also probably our most effective pass catcher as well. I mean, you're looking at a player who had 7 targets in this game, who had 6 catches, and I thought looked a lot better than Jalen Richard. Now, the player that absolutely killed the Raiders, and I saw some people saying type 1 to punch Derek Carr in the face. Well, I kind of wish that I could type 3 because Ryan Tannehill threw for 3 touchdowns and 391 yards up against the Raiders. What the F? Can I get some WTFs? I mean, we made Ryan Tannehill look like the greatest quarterback in the NFL. The dude's averaging 14.5 yards per completion. And not only was our defense just getting absolutely shredded by Ryan Tannehill, we're also getting, well, ripped up by Derrick Henry. I think when you look at this defense, we just don't have the able bodies to be able to stop some of these players. Derrick Henry is a very physical runner, and he started to run the football down our throats. I'm seeing a lot of WTFs right now in the comment section. The one WTF, can somebody please cover A.J. Brown? Can we get some F.A.J.s in the comment section? Like, 5 catches, 153 yards. Daryl Worley was getting absolutely roasted by A.J. Brown. For some reason, in that second quarter, we couldn't cover this guy. And when he went for 91 yards, I was going absolutely insane. A.J. Brown is a good receiver, but 5 catches, 153 yards, over 30 yards per catch, it's almost like the Raiders struggle giving up the big play. So this is a post-game reaction to Raiders versus the Titans. Now, I appreciate everyone who's watching us live right now. So Jacob, Vincent Brown, Saul Vella, Michael Thomas, Brady Hack, Juan. I want you guys right now to get your one-word reaction to the Raiders losing to the Titans 42-21. And if you're like, okay, Mitch, this show, I like being able to do this because between you and me, I need to be able to vent when I watch the Raiders play like that. And if you're just like that and you like what we're doing here, why don't you do this for me? I want you to click that subscribe button, youtube.com/Raiders Report. We are the #1 most watched Raiders channel because of the crazy people, okay? Because of the crazy people on YouTube, and I love y'all very, very much. Y'all are my second family, and you make this a lot easier when the Raiders come out and lose. So if you bleed silver and black, if you are a diehard Raider fan, or if you know a diehard Raider fan, I want you to take that link below, youtube.com/Raiders Report. And I'm going to be at Raiders versus Jags, the last game in Oakland. It's going to break my heart a little bit. But if you're a subscriber to the Raiders Report, I'm going to have a whole bunch of free swag there from Raider Nation store. And, come on, first round's on me. But all you got to do is subscribe to youtube.com/Raiders Report. Now, use hashtag Raiders. Get your questions here featured on air. We'll get some questions in regards to what you guys thought that game was. And then I'll kind of bring in some Josh Jacobs news here. So, Jacob Cruz, what up, brother? Do you think we should trade for Odell and draft heavy defense? We will definitely talk about Odell Beckham Jr. I know there's reports that he wants to be traded. But for what you'd have to give up for OBJ, is he actually worth it? If y'all want OBJ, type OBJ right now. Let's go to J Dizzle Faux Shizzle. What you got for me? How many Chucky heads for OBJ in the offseason? I give it 1 at best right now. How many Chucky heads for OBJ? 1 Chucky head means it's a small shred of truth. I like to think 25% chance of happening. 4 Chucky heads is believe it, maybe it's going to happen. I'm going to give it 1. I'm going to give it 1 Chucky head right now. Continue to use hashtag Raiders. Get your questions here live on the show. I'm seeing a question running in now from, is it Oscar? Is that the right one, Dylan? I can't quite tell. No? Okay, so how many Chucky heads for OBJ? Let's go to Emmanuel. By Paul Gunther, the defensive line is trash. The linebacker's very slow and miss too much tackles. Yeah, I'll take a drink. We need back our safety and maybe get a good free safety. Our cornerbacks are inconsistent. We need better wide receivers. We still need a lot, and that's why I will always say I'm still not going to put 100% of the blame on Derek, but let's be real, he does deserve some of the blame. Let's go to Steven. Draft Uncle Rico. Back in 82, I used to be able to throw the pigskin a quarter mile. Can I get some Uncle Ricos in the comment section? Steven, my man. You know what? Cheers to you. Cheers to everyone who's watching us live right now on YouTube and Facebook. Uncle Rico. Let's bring him in. Okay. Port City Training Desk. I want everyone right now to type 1 If you could type 1 and punch Paul Gunther in the face, would you do it? Everyone start typing 1. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Let's pump it up. Come on. Pump it up to 1. If I can get this channel right now, where are we at? We are at 79 messages a minute. If I can get this up to 500 messages a minute, I'll finish my beer because after watching that game, I think I kind of need to. Let's go to my man. Okay, hey, throw it up there. I'm okay with it. Dead Raiders like, hell yeah, I would punch Paul Gunther in the face. Typing 1. Type some 1s if you would punch Paul Gunther in the face. Big Jason, shout out to you. Thank you for watching, my man. We got Rudy. Rudy, my dude, if you're going to be at the game next weekend, you hit me up. Let's go to Black Hill Mike, one of our most loyal watchers. If the Raiders are content, I don't see why I said that weird, on being this back on D, a tier 1 quarterback makes up for those flaws. I don't care who you are. If your defense is giving up 42 points a game, I don't really think many teams are going to be able to compete. Right now, I think Derek is an average quarterback, but an average quarterback can't win with his defense. The defense right now is, I'll say, probably the worst defense in the NFL right now. That's how bad it is. Let's go to Adrian. What up, dude? Get a picture. Derek is not bad. When you get him weapons, he can be an elite quarterback. See, to me, if you're an elite quarterback, you don't need weapons. If you're an elite quarterback, you're an elite quarterback. Derek Carr, to me, is a good quarterback. But I will say this 100 times. As long as the guy under center, as long as you have silver and black on, I'm going to support you. You might not be the answer, but I'm going to support our quarterback. Let's go to Christopher Sherwood. What up, dude? Should we have run more play action? I think our biggest problem is, to be honest, we don't take enough shots. Now, it's not as easy to run play action because the Titans, they're not going to respect the running game with DeAndre Washington, Jalen Richard as much, that Josh wasn't in the game. But should we have run more play action? You got to mix it up once in a while. But one of the reasons why Rico Gafford was so open on that play is because they were surprised that we took a shot downfield. Sometimes you just need to take a shot downfield to just not get people crowding the box, because teams right now are absolutely crowding the box. Let's go to Roger Smith. What up, fam? Gunther and Gruden are being outcoached. Olsen as OC has been a failure twice. I don't think Gruden is totally getting outcoached. I mean, you have to look at player personnel. You have to see how many different bodies the Raiders have flown in and out. I'm a believer in John Gruden. I think he's done a great job. Also, when you consider the fact of how many rookies we have, John Gruden is doing a good job coaching. But I've also seen Paul Gunther. I've also never been a believer of Greg Olsen. We do need to, have some sort of changes. So make sure you guys are subscribed. It'll be fun here. Let's go to Jack. Nope. Okay. Anthony Magnum. Is that where we're going? Kick him in the face and crack his... What is that word? Crack his shit? All right. We appreciate everyone who's watching us live right now. Anthony Magnum, you got to get a picture. If you want a shout out, type me. I'll give some shout outs to some of the people who are watching us live right now on YouTube. While I'm doing that, we'll bring up Callie Gonzalez's comment. If we end up, oh boy, with a winning record, will you be happy with the season even if we don't make the playoffs? You're not going to like what I have to say. I actually am probably going to be pretty happy with this season no matter what, because every single year you have to improve, right? Every single year you have to improve, and with the Raiders last year winning only 4 games, when you look at all the injuries we've sustained, I think we all know that our rookies are very, very good. So I think it's a bright, bright future for this Oakland Raiders team. So let's look at the Raiders' remaining schedule. Now I see Devin. I'm seeing King Higgins. Let's go to Luis Perez, Joshua Lemon, Brian Lyndon Oxnard. If anybody who's watching the show right now, I'm going to be at Week 15 versus the Jags. Look for the silver coat. If you see me, let's get a picture. Let's hang out. Let's share some beers. And if anybody wants a shotgun one, you let me know. So here's the AFC West standings right now, okay? You got number 1, Kansas City Chiefs. They won again. They're 9-4. They got it basically locked up. The Oakland Raiders are at 6-7. The Denver Broncos are 3, and Chargers are at 4. Looks like the graphics department there had a few too many to drink. It's all good. But if you guys, okay, Chiefs, Raiders, Broncos, Chargers, I think if you guys want to just start chanting boo, you can. It looks like we got it updated here. But the AFC West standings, the Raiders need to wake up a little bit. I don't want to finish behind the Broncos. I don't want to finish behind the Chargers right now. And we will play both of those teams in Week 16 and Week 17. Luckily for us, the Jags looked like one of the worst football teams I've ever watched this past week. So, if anybody right now, you can see the lower third below, it's chatsports.com/bet. I'm going to make it bigger for you. Shout out to BetDSI, the internet's #1 sportsbook. They are sponsoring today's show. If it wasn't for BetDSI, I couldn't do the Raiders report. So go out and support our sponsors. Go to chatsports.com/bet. Use that promo code Raiders120 for 120% deposit bonus. BetDSI is the internet's #1 sportsbook. You will get 120% deposit bonus. Plus, right now around the holidays, they put a whole bunch of extra money in y'all's pocket. Cool. Let's go to Mia Weber. What up, Mia? Mitch, why make excuses for this team? We are terrible across the board. I disagree. You don't win 6 games in the NFL being terrible. What's happened to the Raiders, the 6-4 team, to where we are now at 6-7, I think we got a little bit cocky, no doubt about that. However, think about all the injuries. You have to look at all the injuries, Mia. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to Dame. If you think Derek Carr is playing good, then our standards must be really low. He hasn't thrown for 300 yards and is terrible in the third quarter. Yes, his numbers are a lot different in the third quarter. I am 100% aware of that. Do I think Derek Carr is playing good? No, I think he's playing average football. I think there's a big difference there. But I'm not going to just point the finger at Derek, and just because he hasn't thrown for 300 yards, that's not really the offense we're trying to run. The offense and the play calling has just as much to do with it as Derek Carr. Also, Dame, get a picture. Also, you can get a t-shirt, and we have an unbelievable holiday sale right now at Raider Nation Store. So, the last game in Oakland is next weekend. Go get yourself this shirt. So if you go to RaiderNationStore.net, look for the 60 shirt, okay? Look for the 60 shirt, buy it, and let's get some pictures together next weekend. I'm going to be at the Raiders game, but when you go to RaiderNationStore.net, use promo code Mitch20, save yourself 20%. Now, I've been kind of hinting and been saying that I'm going to the game, so I mean it. I want to get a picture with every single person that subscribes to the Raiders Report. So if you're going to Raiders vs. Jags, let's get a pic, okay? I want you to DM me on Instagram right now. DM me on Instagram. Tell me that you're going to the game. And then that way, we can hang out. We can have a good time. And then ultimately get some pictures. I'll throw them on my Instagram. I'll throw them on my Twitter. I'll put them on the